Hey everybody, thanks for tuning in today. I'm Dane, your host. Hope you're doing great wherever you may find yourselves. Blessings to all. Welcome to another episode of How Good Is This Album? And today's feature is Thin Lizzy's Fightin'. And to quote the wonderful Pat Benatar, put up your dukes, let's get down to it. So, number one is the song Rosalie, which I give a 10 out of 10. Sounds suspiciously, however, a lot like the intro, that is Elton John's The Bitch Is Back. Anyway, whether it's borrowed or not, or intentional or accidental, doesn't matter. I think it's a great song. One of my favorite songs in the rock and roll canon where you have the name of the song after a woman, in this case, of course, Rosalie. I think this is a fantastic song. And before I keep going, let me point out that a lot of people have pointed out that in their opinion, fighting is where Thin Lizzy finally finds their signature sound. I would disagree. I think that going back 2 albums, because you have Nightlife before this, and before that you have Vagabonds of the Western World. I think Vagabonds of the Western World is where they're starting to find their signature sound, and Fighting is where it's become cemented in their discography. So anyway, Rosalie's fantastic, 10 out of 10. Next is also a 10 out of 10 song for those who love, for those who loved to live. This is a classic Thin Lizzy song. Lyrics are poetic. Storytelling from Lynotte's great, and again, like so many Thin Lizzy songs, you have that songs about the streets, or they seem to be songs about the streets, or street smarts. Song about love has that tragic flair to it. The guitar is just amazing here, and I love the vocal phrasing from Phil when he sings "Gotta give a little love," get rid of the hate and all that. Guitar solo is just so dynamite. Again, 10 out of 10 for those who love to live. The next is the name of the song, rhymes with cyanide, sort of, 11 out of 10. A nice rocker, tragic sounding, of course. Thin Lizzy does it so well. No one does it like Thin Lizzy, with the penchant for poetic flavorings and cadences and phrasing that just lends itself to the storytelling so well, and the music meshes with it so nicely. He has the lyrics, nobody came, nobody cried. Nobody cared, nobody cried about this tragic story. The solo was nice, has a crying wah to it. I'm not sure if wah-wah pedals there or not, but it has that wah flavor to it. The next solo is nice. You have 3 solos in the song. The next solo is just as good. This is what I want from a twin guitar band. The riffs are great here too. Yeah, you have the third solo, which is just this heavy blues. I love it. And then you have this kick-ass outro. So 11 out of 10 for the song. Next is also 11 out of 10, the song Wild One. Melancholy, tragic story, tragic sound in the intro, right? Gives it that tone, flavor that this is a sad song, a sad tale to tell, as Thin Lizzy is wont to do. He sings, "I want my woman home," right? Those aren't the lyrics, but paraphrasing, it's a "I want my woman home" song. Think Bill Withers, right? "Ain't no sunshine when she's gone" kind of thing, but with a Thin Lizzy twist. "I Can't Live Without You" song, essentially. Again, very poetic. Lynotte's voice is so rich, so wonderful, so powerful, so dynamic. And then you have this wonderful, the only way I could describe it, you have a flowery shedding type guitar solo. It's nice. It's just exquisite. It's perfect. And, of course, the guitar expresses Lynotte's pain that meshes so well with the lyrics and the music overall. Again, 11 out of 10 for Wild One. Next is Fighting My Way Back, which essentially, I guess you could call this kind of the title track since it has fighting in it. And another song about the streets, or street smarts, if you will, type song. What we expect Thin Lizzy to do, that we know and love from the band. "Busting My Way Out," sings Phil, and kind of foreshadowing the Jailbreak album. And you have, again, throughout the whole album, I'll just say it here, wonderful guitar phrasing and stylings from Scott Gorman and Brian Robertson. This is a 9 out of 10. Next is the wonderful poetic King's Vengeance, which I give a 9.5 out of 10. Great lyrics, great chorus, a great acoustic and electric guitar, and more great poetry from Phil. 9.5 out of 10. Next, The Spirit Slips Away, one of my favorite tracks of all time. 11 out of 10. Dark, moody, threatening intro. And then you have a shift to what feels like an impending storm wind blowing, imitation of birds or sampled birds perhaps. Then it becomes light and melancholy. This is bouncing back between the dark moody and the light moody. Poetic goodness from La Note again. Atmospheric piece with amazing bluesy guitar stuff here. It's great solos. And then halfway through, the darkness, the more moodier, darker stuff returns, but there's still back and forth. And it's amazing moody piece. And when the darkness returns, it's really brief, and then the more light melancholy comes back, and then the wind blowing at the end of the song to finish the song's a wonderful touch. Next is Silver Dollar, my least favorite song on this album. I only give it a 6.5 out of 10. It's kind of meh for me, nothing special. Guitar's pretty cool though, but it doesn't do enough to save it. This sounds like more of a Molly Hatchet type song, and I like Molly Hatchet, but it doesn't work for me for Thin Lizzy, so I give it a 6.5 out of 10. Next is Freedom Song. I give it an 8 out of 10. This is a solid tune, solid lyrics. I like it very, very much. And then finally, the last track, what a way to end an album. I give this an 11 out of 10. This is a master stroke from the band. Ballad of the Hard Man. The echo of Lynotte's voice in the beginning of the song is amazing. The phrasing is just dynamite. It's a joy to hear every time. His presence is wonderful in the studio here. It's a stellar track. Again, Lynotte's phrasing is just dynamite. I can't say that enough. Great lyrics, very poetic. Great guitar riffs, some of the best. The solo is just exquisite. It's phenomenal. Checks all the boxes. One of my favorite songs from the band of all time. Top 5, definitely. Great way to end an album. I'm a big fan of that. This is just overall a fantastic, phenomenal rock and roll song. It is just that. So if you do it by the numbers, you have 10 tracks here. You add everything up. If I didn't mention it, Battle of the Hard Man's 11 out of 10. So you add everything up, you get a 97. You divide it by the 10 tracks, which is 10. You get a 9.7. A 9.5 for me is excellent. So it's a little bit past excellent. A 10 for me is masterpiece. So it's not quite a masterpiece, but it's definitely excellent. So this is an album I go to time and time again when I want to listen to Thin Lizzy. It's not my favorite, but it's definitely in the top 3. So thank you so much for watching. Please consider hitting the like and notification button, and please consider subscribing to the channel. God bless. See you next time. Bye now.